You guys.
What is it, Bumpercar? What you so excited about? What you came in really hot. You seem very excited.
I am. I'm super excited, but I'm also really bothered.
Yes, Natty, I don't know what you are super excited about, but maybe you want to tell us because you seem very happy.
I am, producer, but I also have a problem. I have something that I'm super excited about, but then I also have something that I'm kind of frustrated and bothered about. So which one do you want first?
Well, Natty, as your lawyer, I recommend that we're gonna get the bad news out of the way first, and then we can end on a high note, because, that's what I think it's just a better way to do business.
Rufus has a point, because I always said, just a spoonful of sugar makes the medicine go down, and so that's the opposite, Rufus. That's when you get the good news first, and then it softens the blow of the bad news. So I don't know. I guess we're of two minds here.
It seems like a lot of sugar that you're taking. A whole spoonful. It's going to definitely go over your daily requirements of sugar. So that seems like it's a bad equation. If you got to take your medicine, you just kind of have to take your medicine. You don't have to be taking all of this sugar as well. And they say if you're sick, you don't want to be taking a lot of sugar.
Okay, yeah, well that's a good point. Rufus, I see what you're saying. Bad news, get it out of the way. Good news, and on a high note, Pig, I see what you're saying also, that the good news is going to ease you into the bad news. And producer, I think you're right. I think that probably too much sugar isn't really going to help if someone is sick. And, what kind of medicine is it that we're taking that you're going to need a spoonful of sugar? And is it just a spoonful of sugar, and then is it a spoonful of medicine? Because that 1-to-1 ratio is just not going to be good. You're going to have to, if you ever tried to eat a spoonful of sugar, it is not easy at all.
Well, now, Natty, as your lawyer, it's me. Hi, everyone. It's Rufus here, Rufus.
Hello, Rufus.
We are not a medical advice show.
Oh, no.
And so I'm hesitant for you to be out here with your equations and your representations and your...
I agree.
I don't know. You're kind of spewing some medical advice that I don't think we're comfortable enough to be telling people.
Okay.
So we gotta just watch ourselves a little bit here. All right? So what we will do is everyone, please ignore the sugar to the medicine that was previously discussed on this podcast.
Okay.
And I think we maybe Natty would just move forward with whatever your big news is or whatever.
Okay. Totally makes sense. Totally agree. I don't really think we were giving medical advice, but you are the lawyer, so I will listen to you. So here's what I'm going to do. I have 2 numbers in my head. Pig, I'm going to let you pick the numbers. They're between...
7-11. 7-11.
Okay, you went a little too fast there. I didn't tell you what they were in between.
Pickle. Is it a pickle?
No, that's actually not even a number.
It's delicious. So you got to agree that pickles are wonderful. You got your sweet pickles, you got your sour pickles, you can sometimes have spicy pickle. I mean, pickles really, they run the gamut of different kinds of, I don't know if what are they called? They're not condiments, they're not side items. What is a pickle exactly?
I think that the word you're looking for is accoutrement. I think what you're looking for is kind of a flourish, on a plate. I think a pickle is one of those things, an item that just elevates your meal a little bit. Let's say I'm having a butter sandwich, which is of course delicious. You take your bread, you put your butter on, and then you sprinkle a little sugar, and then
but it's all with all of the sugar today.
Yeah, right.
Strange.
It's a lot of sugar.
Natty, are we being sponsored by Big Sugar this week?
No.
Big Sugar? Did they call in?
No one called in and watch the microphone. You just ran into it. No, but first off, I've never had a butter sandwich. That sounds great. It sounds really great. But so it's bread and then butter and then sugar and then more bread.
Yeah,
I don't see any nutritional value to any of that, really.
Yeah, and I'm wondering,
what is
Rufus,
Yeah.
were they giving you this butter sandwich with the sugar before they were giving you some sort of medicine?
Well, I don't think so.
Because then it's like
No.
just a
What are you doing?
butter sandwich
All right.
and helps. And with, I don't know.
Natty, you gotta
It doesn't
jump in
work as
here.
well as I wanted
No,
it
that
to.
was-
But
that
you know what
was-
I was doing there, huh?
Yeah, you were ruining the whole day. We were talking about butter sandwiches, which are a delicious treat, and we were talking about pickles, and I finally figured out what they are.
Okay, just don't worry about it. Cool. I don't want to talk about pickles anymore.
Did you know that hold on one second, that the pickle is actually a cucumber. And so it's like you take the cucumber and you just have to do some, I don't know, things to it, and then it becomes like a little bit of a pickle. You know that?
Yeah, everybody knows what a pickle is.
That was
Cucumber.
common knowledge?
Yes.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, producer, why don't you go back behind the board? You've done a lot of talking during today's episode, and you just handle the buttons and the knobs and the tubes and the wires and everything back there. And
Oh, come on.
Bumpercar, what is your news?
Yeah.
We're like 17 minutes into this
We're
thing.
not.
And I'm ready. I'm actually, what it is I'm not ready for the news, but I'm
Yeah.
just done with this whole thing.
Whoa.
And so I'm ready to be done.
Oh.
If that's okay.
Yeah, that's totally fine and totally understandable and totally acceptable. So, here's the news. The good news, and it's pretty phenomenal, I think, is that the Bumper Podcast just passed 80,000 listens in the time that 80,000 listens
80,000.
to this podcast since we started.
Well, Natty, as your lawyer here, let me just get some papers out here. 80,000. I feel like we have reached some sort of here we are. There's a contract threshold here in the contract.
Okay,
where,
well, it's
yeah, here
right
it
in the mic,
is.
yeah.
At 80,000 and every 20,000 heretofore after that, we are all to receive a pay bump. So I don't know.
We get paid?
Let's see here.
I never
how
got-
much.
Bumpercar.
It's a percentage, I think.
I never gotten
I'm
paid.
Not finding
Am I supposed to be getting paid?
I'm gonna circle up and I'm gonna come back on this if you don't mind, because this is wonderful news.
can't.
Congratulations to everyone.
Yeah, good job.
We should have some sort of a party. Maybe get some sandwiches.
Oh.
Maybe put some pickles on
Come
them. I don't know.
on. Don't do that to him, Rufus. Wow, well, good job, Bumpercar. Everyone is super thrilled that the Bumper Podcast has been listened to over 80,000 times. That's amazing. And we're, like 430 episodes in? With 12 years? Can somebody do the math and tell me, what is that, 8 listens per episode? Like two listens per year? What is it, a good number? I don't even know.
Aloysius, I know I'm not supposed to talk, but I was back here crunching some numbers, and I came up with this. So, 430 episodes, it means divided by, you have 80,000 divided by 430, and it comes up to 187 listens
that's
per
not-
episode, which is
okay.
pretty okay, I
It's
guess.
almost
I don't know.
200.
And then, if you dig a little bit deeper,
Now,
I
producer, 1 second. I don't mean to interrupt because these are wonderful numbers that you've come up with here. But I was wondering, can you make some sort of a spreadsheet with some sort of a chart, maybe a bar chart, maybe some
Yeah,
sort
that
of
might be a good idea.
I don't know, maybe some sort of a pie chart or something like that.
Now you're talking. I did not enjoy the reference to the pickle party, but I very much enjoy the reference to a pie chart because I think you all know I love a good pie chart.
Yeah, I mean, how could you not? Pie is pie's good. Because you could have a sweet pie, you can do an apple, or a apple rhubarb or strawberry rhubarb.
Yep.
Blueberry is another good pie.
I mean, you can do a meringue also. You can do a lemon meringue. You can, there's so many options for pies.
Yeah, and I was wanted to talk about the numbers, but now that we're talking about pies, you can have sweet pies, you can have savory pies, which are just delicious. You can have a good dumpling kind kind of pie, or you can have a minced pie. I don't know really what that is. You can have a Thanksgiving pie.
Hey. How weird, Turkey! You didn't show up for the Thanksgiving episode. You forgot to come, I guess. But now you just appear when producer mentions Thanksgiving pie.
Yeah, okay. Completely understand, and I was not trying to be insensitive. I was just trying to go over the numbers, and we were talking about pies, and then I got a little bit over my skis. I apologize, but really quickly, I just wanted to tell everybody. So, if you take the numbers, 800,000, I think we've been doing this for something like 12 years, and you divide the 80,000 by the 12 years, you come up with how many episodes. Or no, they've been listened to every single year. Do you want to hear that number?
Yeah. That sounds. Yes, I would very much like to hear that. I mean, it's not going to be super representative because I'm sure it was less listens in the beginning than maybe it is now. But tell us what that number breaks down to.
Okay, well, I don't want to freaking one out, but if you divide the 80,000 by 12, the years, it comes up to 6,666.66666.
Nope. We're gonna either then we've been doing it shorter or longer because that number is not acceptable. And that is the good news was the 80,000. Is this the bad news? Then is that because this doesn't seem acceptable to me at all. This seems like a bad luck omen kind of number.
No, it has nothing to do with the bad news. I think that number is totally random, and we'd have to go back and look and see when we actually started and everything because I don't really know. But no, let's not freak out about that. We'll just say it was around 6,500 per year, roughly, and then that feels a lot better. I agree. But no. This is all great news. This is all the good news. Good news. 80,000 listens. Way to go, Bumper Podcast. Thank you so much, Bumper Podcast-keteers. We've been on the Non-Pro network. We've been on the Shining Wizards podcast network. We're currently on Radio Free Montclair, so it's great. We're doing things. I appreciate it. But we also have some bad news.
Oh, here we go.
I think we have time that I should probably talk about that.
Yeah, you should probably get to it. What is the bad news?
Well, the bad news is, I don't know if you listened to last week's episode, but that guy still has all of our equipment, and so we haven't even been recording this. This is just a brick that I put in front of you all, and this isn't really an episode. We didn't have an episode this week, right?
The Bumper Podcast is an oftentimes hilarious weekly romp with Natty Bumpercar and some of his pals. It is family-friendly, clean, and ridiculous. Thanks a bundle for listening. If you love our show and you'd like to help support the podcast, check out our Patreon page at https://www.patreon.com/Natty Bumpercar. Also, pretty please subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Share it with everyone everywhere, post about it on all of the social medias, or leave a rating and review. The Bumper Podcast is produced at headquarters in Coffee Can Alley. It's recorded, mixed, and produced by producer. The Bumper Podcast features contributions from Aloysius J. Pig, Rufus T. Rufus, Doodle Poodle, Robot, Trunks, and a gaggle of other silly rascals. Our head talker is probably Natty Bumpercar. We also have an absurd newsletter. Check it out and subscribe at nattybumpercar.com/subscribe. Also, you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Natty Bumpercar. Hugs and hearts. See you soon.
This has been a non-productive media presentation. Executive producer Frank Hablawi. This program and many others like it on the Non-Productive Network is distributed under a Creative Commons Attribution Non-Commercial No Derivatives license. Please share it, but ask before trying to change it or sell it. For more information, visit non-productive.com.